Hi guys, welcome to Creatively Homemade. If you're new to my channel, my name is Jennifer and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I love to share fun and creative paper crafting ideas with you. So all this week I am showcasing the Picture Perfect birthday stamp set. So much fun. I have already posted a Project Life page that uses this stamp set, and today I am doing a quick and easy birthday card. Super cute. We all need birthday cards, right? I mean, I go through a ton of them in the course of a year. So this is a great way to have a bunch made up and have them on hand whenever you need to send one out. So let's get started and I will show you how to make this card. So let's get started and I'll give you the dimensions on all the paper you need to cut. Your card base needs to be 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches, and you're going to need to put that into your scoring board with the long edge at the top and give that a score at 4.25 inches, and that's going to form your card base. I'm using Bermuda Bay, but you can use whatever color matches the designer series paper that you choose. You're going to need a rectangle of designer series paper that is 4.5 inches by 3.25 inches. You're going to need a strip of cardstock that is not the same color as your card base, a different color in this pattern paper, and you need that to be 5.5 inches by 1.5 inches. And then you're going to need a scrap of Whisper White cardstock that is 2.5 inches square. The next thing you need to do is make a banner end on one of the ends of that 1.5 inch wide strip. I am using the Banner Triple Punch. It makes banner ends in 3 different sizes. You can use a 1-inch strip, a 1.5 inch strip, or a 2-inch strip. So if you have a 1.5 inch strip of paper like I do, it goes right in the center channel and it will fit perfectly. Just give it a punch and now you have a cute little banner end. Okay, so now we're ready to do some stamping. We're going to stamp on the banner and we're going to stamp on that scrap of Whisper White cardstock. This color is Peekaboo Peach. You can use any color you like, but I really like this pretty peach color. So I'm going to use that to stamp the sentiment, and I'm using the happiest of birthdays to you sentiment, and I'm also going to be using these candles and this flame stamp. I've already got those on clear blocks. So let me ink up this sentiment. I'm just using black for that. And you want to stamp that on the banner with this banner end to your left, and you want to stamp the sentiment as close to it as you can get. Okay, just like that. And you can set that one aside. And now let's stamp our candles. You can use any colors that coordinate with the paper. I'm using Berry Burst, Lemon Lime Twist, Peekaboo Peach, and then I'm using Crushed Curry for the candle flame, which is not one of the colors of that paper pack. Bermuda Bay and Pool Party would also be good choices because those are colors featured in the Picture Perfect Party Designer Series paper. So I'm going to start with the solid colored candle. And I'm doing that in Berry Burst, and I just want to stamp that right in the middle of that cardstock. Okay, and then the next one I'm going to do is Lemon Lime Twist. Let me get that out of my way so I don't stick my hand in it. I do that all the time. I have inky hands all the time. It's really embarrassing. So this is the polka dot candle, and I'm using Lemon Lime Twist. So I'm just going to stamp that right next to the other one. Okay. And then I'm going to stamp the last candle in Peekaboo Peach. And I'm going to stamp it on the other side of the solid candle. There we go. So we have the 3 candles in a row. And then I'm going to grab the flame and stamp that at the top of each of the candles. 1, 2, 3. Not perfect, but that's all right. I stamped that candle a little bit lower than the other two, but that's okay. Next, you want to cut out the candle image in a circle. I did this off camera. I used the 2 1/4 inch stitched circle die. That's in the Stitched Shapes die set. It's a really cool set. It has squares, circles, and ovals that all have the fun little stitching around the edge of the shape. So that's a nice one to have on hand. I use that one a lot. So that's what I cut that out with. You can see the stitching around the edge there. Didn't want to drag out my die cut machine because it squeaks a lot. So now we have all our shapes and we are ready to get this card put together. So I've just pulled out some snail adhesive and I'm going to start with this designer series paper that we cut out in the first step. Just adding some adhesive to that. And I want to stick that down in the center of that card. Try to leave an even border all the way around. You're going to have a 1/2 inch border all the way around that designer series paper. Next, you want to put adhesive on the back of that banner. And you want to line up the point of that banner with the edge of the designer series paper. And it's going to hang off the edge on the other side a little bit. I had that just below center, but you can put that wherever you want. Next, you need some Stampin' Dimensionals and put that on the back of your stamped piece, stamped circle with the candles. I'm going to use 4. There we go, and I'm just using a paper piercing tool to get those backings off really quickly. I don't think I've ever actually done any paper piercing with this paper piercing tool. I use it mainly to get adhesive backing off. Okay, now pop that right next to your sentiment, centering that on the banner, just like so. Now, you could certainly stop there with that card. It's cute as it is, but I thought I would jazz it up a bit and add some embellishments. So I have pulled out my mini tinsel trim. This is in the Occasions catalog. It's Love Mini Tinsel Trim. It comes in a pack of 2. You get pink and gold. I'm going to be using the gold today. Just tie a small little bow with that gold trim. And make the loops fairly small. That looks good. And just cut that with some scissors, leaving maybe an inch tail. And then we're going to stick that down to the card with a mini glue dot. I just have my mini glue dots in a dispenser. Makes it easier. So press that to the center. And then we're going to put that right at the bottom there on that center candle, just to add a little bit of bling. And then the last thing I want to do is use some of these metallic gem shapes and add some accents. I think I'm going to use the gold since the trim is gold. And I'm just going to add a couple of these little dots up here at the top. And then I'm going to add a couple on the banner with the sentiment. And I'm just using my paper piercing tool to put those in place. And that's all there is to it. The card is finished. So there's a close-up on that finished card. Super cute and really easy to put together. And then I made a couple of variations using that same Picture Perfect Party Designer Series paper. So here's one that's exactly the same, just with different colors and different designer series paper in the background. This is the bigger confetti print, and then I used some silver embellishments instead of the gold. Here's one where I used a different stamp from that Picture Perfect birthday stamp set. The same stamps that make candles will also make a little noise maker. You use those as the stems, and then you have this little fringe and the part that you blow out. So that's what I've used for this card. Since that paper has those little noisemakers, I stamped a noisemaker stamp, and I did a confetti background, and I said cue the confetti. And then I used little star embellishments. And then the last one that I did is a vertical card, and so it's oriented a little bit differently, but it's still basically the same idea. And I used candles again, but I cut them out into a square and turned that sideways to make a diamond. And then this sentiment says, "Today we celebrate wonderful, brilliant, fabulous you." So if you missed any of those steps, I have all the written instructions and all the measurements you need over on my blog post at creativelyhomemade.com. I also have the card sketch for this card. I have that available as a free printable download. I recommend printing them up and putting them in a binder so you have them anytime you need a boost of creativity. You can use a card sketch to make an infinite number of cards just by changing up your designer series paper or your stamping or your embellishments. You can make different looking cards just by changing things up. If you would like to make these easy birthday cards and need any of the supplies that I featured, I have a complete supply list down in the text that is below this video. Just click on Show More and you'll be able to see a complete list, and all those links go to my online Stampin' Up! Store. So if you place a $50 order or more this month and use the current month's host code, I have a special gift for you. February's free gift is the Petal Pair Textured Embossing Folder. You get a set of 2. You get one that makes this pretty flower embossed image, and then you also get one that does like a vine or a stem, which is really cool. So you get 2 embossing folders as your free gift, and you're going to get a card kit as well. That video is going to go up on Monday. That is an offer just from me for people who place an order through my Stampin' Up! Online store and use the current month's host code with a $50 order. Now also, if you place a $50 order, you get a free gift from Stampin' Up! Directly. You get to pick out something that is in the Celebration catalog, which is always so much fun, and it's a great way to get free goodies. So I hope this tutorial has inspired you to do some birthday crafting, make some handmade birthday cards for people this year. If you enjoyed this tutorial, be sure to give my video a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more crafts like this one, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I post new videos 3 times a week. I post a memory keeping project, a handmade card, and a 3D item like a party favor. So be sure to check those out. Thank you so much for watching. Happy crafting!